Right, so this is Matt Catchies, and this is the one chip challenge. Here we go. Right, what's up guys, welcome back to Matt Catchies. And as you can see from behind me, we are back on the fishing location. And I've just noticed actually, if you look at the trees, all the leaves come off. We've officially hit autumn. The floor is covered in leaves. The lake behind me, right in front of my peg, it's just off the camera, is absolutely covered in leaves. A few seagulls flying around. And I've just noticed as well, another thing, is you can see the true shape of the lake, like where it goes a bit wider, a bit narrower, because of the leaves, there's no overhanging trees, so you can properly see the shape. So we see the narrower bits, the wider bits, where the fish might be passing through and we have a higher chance to catch them. So I'm just doing an overnight session tonight, got all my stuff behind me, gonna get that set up. But first, I'm gonna just drag a ledger across the bottom, see if I can feel any more, because there'll be a lot more silt on the bottom, I imagine, from the leaves. And we can just feel if we find any high points, low points, any sandbanks where it might be best casting in. So we'll get to that now. So what I'm going to be casting in is just a 2-ounce lead attached to my lead leader, and it's going to be whacking that across the lake, dragging it back slowly, just watching the tip and feeling the movement of the rod to feel if it's on gravel, bit of sand, bit of silt, bit of clay. And you can tell the difference when you cast in between clay and silt. If it's clay, it's a hard bottom, so when it hits the bottom you have a sudden thud when it hits the bottom. And if it's silt, you'll feel it hit the bottom, but it'll be like hitting like a pillow or something soft, and you'll feel it sink into the silt. And when you're dragging it across the bottom, if it's smooth bottom, obviously it'll come across smooth. If it's gravel, it'll bounce across the bottom almost, and you might feel it get like snagged on the occasional rock or something. And if it's silt, when you first start reeling it in, you'll pull it and you'll feel it's some resistance, and it'll ping out almost when it's getting pulled out of the silt. So they're the 3 ways to tell. So I'm going to cast it in and see what the bottom's looking like. Right, so one quick thing, before you cast in, you're going to want to wet your reel so there's water on it. Just helps the line come off and stop getting tangled, and yeah, it just helps the line basically. We're going to cast it now and see what the bottom's like. Feeling it down to the bottom. As you can see there, we had a sudden hit, so that's quite shallow, and it's a clay bottom there. So drag it across the bottom, pull your rod tip to the side, you can watch the tip and you can feel it as well. So this has no pull out and it's a smooth retrieve, so this is saying there's a smooth bottom and it's quite hard, so that could be clear there for throwing bait in. So far it's looking pretty clear in this swim. There you go, getting lots of little knocks here, so there's stuff on the bottom. So I presume we're getting closer to this side, and yeah. So it's clear all the way out till about 15 foot out, I'd say. It's clear. I know the lake, so it gets deeper over that side in the middle. But where we cast it in was quite shallow, and then it slowly got deeper and then shot back up at the side where we started getting twigs and stuff from these trees, where that comes a bit shallower. So we're going to cast that in, do the same thing over a couple more spots, and then we can see where we're going to put the rods in. The rig I'm going to be using today is going to be a 7-inch stiff boom with a size 4 wide gape hook. It's got the bait screw on with a 16mm krill wafter. I've got a PVA bag which I'm going to pair onto that. So you just put that through, give it a twist, put the hook through it again, and there we have it. That is attached, and when that hits the water, that'll dissolve. You have a nice pile of bait right around your hook, ready for the fish to suck up and for you to catch a fish. So I'm going to cast this in. I've got both of these set up now. I've found my spots, I'm going to cast them in. I'm going to whack some boilies in, but how I'm going to be doing the boilies today is I'm going to be breaking them in half because it's winter and not feeding as much. So break them in half, and I'm going to be putting the same amount of boilies in, but break them off so it spreads out in a bit more of an area, so the fish will be able to find it. They won't get filled up on them as quick, and then there'll be this little mountain of bait in the middle, a little pot wafter on it, just wafting around, ready for them to take, and hopefully they'll take that and we get a fish. So let's whack the rods in now, throw a bit of bait in. The bait I've gone for is my 16mm krill boilies, the same as normal. But what I've decided to do is I've cut them all in half, as you can see. So they're going to look a bit smaller on in the water. They're not going to roll around if there isn't a current on the bottom, so they're going to stop on the bait. And the fish aren't going to get full up as quick from eating them. So I've got my catapult, I'm going to whack some out now, and hopefully these work and bring us that carper after. Very quickly, me and my infinite wisdom failed to realise that by cutting the buoys in half, I'm also cutting the weight in half, cutting the range in half, so I couldn't get the bait out further enough. So what I've done is I've stuck them half buoys into the PVA bags, going to attach them to my hooks, cast them back out, right back onto the spots. They've only been there 5 minutes, so it's not really going to affect it, and whack some full size buoys in. So let's do that now. Right, so I've noticed my subs have gone up rapid this past month. I've hit over 250 subs, I think it's 280 now. So I was going to do a 250 sub special, but we've hit it so quick I didn't have a chance. So I'm doing it now. So I've decided to do the one chip challenge. I've got it here with me on the bank. And this is what it says. Do you have what it takes? Can you handle the 2 million scold units this one chip punches? This is the ultimate challenge for any heat seekers. This chip has made it with Carolina Reaper, which is over 2 million on the Skolvit heat sale. This is the hottest chip in the world. Don't say you haven't been warned. So I thought, why not? We'll give it a go. Right, so this is Matt Catchies, and this is the one chip challenge. Here we go. It's hot. They weren't lying when they're saying it's hot. I've got milk. I'm opening the milk. I've got tears running on my face. Literally shaking. Why have I done this? Don't think you realise how hot it is. I can't speak, literally. It's like eating a bit of charcoal. That is on fire. I'm done. Right, I'm back. I can just about speak. Oh, that's way better. But in all seriousness, thank you for helping me hit 250 subscribers. It's a massive milestone in my eyes, and I never thought I'd be able to do it. And I wouldn't be able to do it without the help of you guys. So thank you so much, and let's get back to the video. Right guys, so I've been watching the water, rods are still in, leaves have dispersed a bit. I've seen a couple little perch jump over in that area, I've seen a couple of swills here, and then just a few little fish swimming along here. Haven't seen any carp yet. I have seen some fizzing over in that direction earlier. I didn't manage to catch it on camera. But yeah, it's looking pretty promising, so hopefully we have a fish out. And I think I'm going to stick some food on. I mean, it is 4:15 now. Right, it's currently 5:30 at night. And as you can see from behind me, it's absolutely pitch black. I can't see 1 foot in front of me. So I've got my head torch on, and lucky me, I forgot to charge it. So I'm going to have my head torch plugged into my power bank for most of the night again, I think. So I'm going to throw some bait in, because I have heard a couple of fish jump. Not many, but I have heard 2, and they definitely sounded like carp because they were a bigger fish. And yeah, so throw that bait in, get my tea on, get a cup of tea on. For my tea, I've got some sausage butties. I'm really happy I've got them. So yeah, let's get the bait in now. Don't think you can see very well on the camera, but that spot there is the moon, and that looks absolutely massive. It's not going to focus on it now, but in person that looks absolutely amazing just through the branches. If I was probably on the other side of the peg, I could probably have got a better view of that. Guys, it's currently about 9 o'clock, and as you can see from behind me, it is absolutely pitch black. Just made myself a cup of tea, as you can see, and I'm a bit fed up of milk, to be honest. From earlier. And the lake behind me is absolutely silent. I've heard probably 2 carp jump. They were a couple of hours ago now, they were a bit earlier. And yeah, I know it's getting colder. The water is icy cold. I think it's 2.5 degrees at the moment. I did expect it to get harder fishing a lot quieter when it got colder weather throughout the winter, as we're in autumn now, and it'll just get colder and colder and colder all through till probably next Easter. So I'd like you guys leave down in the comments how you're finding it fishing, if you're having a banging time, absolutely smashing the fish out, or if you're finding it a bit harder as well. So leave it in the comments, and I'll get back to them, because I'm generally interested in how you guys are doing. So got my cup of tea, just going to watch the lake. Hopefully we have some fish out, and I'll be back with you when something interesting happens. The time is currently 9:30, and the lake is still silent. It's pitch black, and I'm a bit tired, frankly, so I think I'm going to head off to sleep. Hopefully we have a fish in the night. There's plenty of time. I've been putting bait in, trickling that in all through the day, PVA bags in. Got my bait in the right spot, so all we can do now is pray. There's a certain amount of skill, I think, to fishing, and then you've got that bit of luck just on that other side, which that's up to God up there. So focus that on my face, and yeah, that's the only way I can put it. There's skill and luck, 2 different parts. So I'm tired, I'm gonna go to sleep. Hopefully I can get up earlier in the morning. I'm aiming for about 7, 7:30, and hopefully have some fish out tonight. So I'll see you in the morning. Morning, it's currently about 8:30 on the bank. I have been up, just haven't wanted to leave my bed because of how cold it is. There's frost everywhere. As you can see my breath. So yeah, it is quite cold. I think it must have hit in the negatives last night. But that National Indulgence, that's the first time I've been out in the cold weather, and it served me fabulous. I was nice and toasty in there. Got a cup of tea, just warming my hands up, because I didn't bring any gloves, because I'm that smart. So as you can see from behind me, the lake is absolutely silent and still. There's been a few little fish jumping and topping all morning that I've seen around, but no bigger fish. And yeah, it's been a cold breeze all night. The lake's very cold, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get my breakfast on now. I've got some beans for me, something to warm me up, and yeah, see how the rest of the day goes. Hopefully we get a fish. We've got plenty of time left, so fingers crossed as always. Get my breakfast on. Right, it's coming about 9:30. It's absolutely freezing. I got my breakfast here, try to warm me up. I got some beans. Watching the lake, there is some bubbles on the lake, but a bit further down, it's just spotted in the corner of my eye. I saw a fish top. The sun is more on the lake that way, and there's some more bubbles coming up, and there's a lot of fry and a few birds sitting on top of the water. So I think next time we come, we're definitely going to give it a try down there if it's this cold again. And I've been looking, as you can tell my nose, I'm a bit cold. So I've been looking, I'm going to invest in some thermal layer jacket and that. So if you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments, because I'm not very good at looking at that basically. So I need to find something that's nice and warm. My bed was absolutely fantastic last night, coped flawlessly with the cold. It went down to about -1 last night when I checked the weather forecast. So that's nice. So we're just going to eat my breakfast, warm up, and hopefully we'll have a fish. It's been a brilliant session so far on the bank. It's been a bit cold admittedly. I'm definitely looking in to get a winter suit or something just to keep the cold out, keep me a bit more warm and comfy on the bank. Woke up to a bit of frost this morning, which was a change, and it was a pleasant surprise because we've got a couple of good photos. If you haven't already, check them out on my Instagram. I'm going to put a little check mark there, I think it will be. It might be the side of the screen. But unfortunately, we've caught no fish, but I hope I brought you a good video nonetheless. And as always, this is Matt Catchies signing out, and I'll see you in the next video.